Alright, so what's your name?
Diane Renna.
And you are?
Megan.
And you are?
Joe.
Joe. And how old are you, Megan?
19.
21.
Okay, 21, 19. We approve.
Almost
Good age
20.
gap.
Yeah.
Good age gap. Okay. This is a story about Meghan, I presume.
Yes, I wrote, actually, it'll be 10 years ago, I wrote this book about my daughter Meghan.
Let's have a look. It's called Meghan's World, the story of one girl's triumph over a century.
It's actually all over the world, by word of mouth. Basically, I wrote this children's book about Meghan because I wanted to validate children's feelings and to help other parents dealing with sensory processing disorder, autism spectrum disorder, any whatever going through. She had severe sensory processing disorder, diagnosed when she was 5. And she's fine now. She's been fine since she was in 1st grade, I guess. And I just wanted to share what I've learned. I have a website, and it was a long journey, a long road, like she said. Like when my daughter, when she was 1, I noticed something was wrong with her. Her socks had to be just so, and I remember saying to the pediatrician, I don't understand, her socks.
Was she fine before 1 though? How was she developing in her first year?
She was fine, and I worked in the city as well, so I worked a lot, and but she was fine. She was very bright. She got like a perfect score. She spoke early too. She was very she had a social and emotional problem. But what happened was she just kept getting worse. And 3 years old, because she spoke very young. Yes, she had she has a medical exemption to the DTaP.
Now?
No.
Only the DTaP? Only the DTaP,
because
Meghan,
she was...
They haven't tried to come after you with the Gardasil HPV, have they? Okay, so that's one that you must not have.
Well, but my other kids have a religious exemption.
So you've got religious exemption?
But she has what happened was, when she was in 6th grade, they wanted her to get the DTaP, and she had a reaction to the DTaP. And she was younger, when she was 4. And they wanted to question us. So I wrote a religious exemption based on how I became more spiritual, what I learned over the years in XYZ, and I had written this book about her, and I was very honest, and they wanted to call me into question. And then my doctor said what was going on, and she gave me a medical exemption because she did have neuropathy from the DTaP. And so then I wrote, I gave handed the medical exemption for that. And but that's what we often worry about.
Is Meghan cleared now from any vaccines, is the question?
Yeah.
She doesn't have to have...
Well, I don't know. Honestly, that is the question. Because what it is she would have her own medical exemption, her own religious exemption, I would guess. She doesn't have one technically for any other vaccines. Just the DTaP.
I mean, we have religious exemptions, which clears us from all vaccines. So I presume that that's the same. You might want to check that, because I would think it's pretty imperative that she doesn't have any more vaccines.
No, she won't, and she doesn't believe it in herself.
Do you remember being ill?
Yeah.
What did it feel like? What were you thinking in your head when that happened?
I was sensitive to everything. I couldn't really eat much. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want anyone to touch me. I wanted to be alone. I couldn't wear anything. Every day I would have a fit. In the morning I would just be in my room like naked because I couldn't find anything that was comfortable for me to wear. I would cry over everything, and everything would bother me. Noises. I couldn't be in crowded places, and I would always cover my ears. I always felt different from the other kids, and it made me really sad because I knew something was wrong with me and I didn't know what, and I didn't know how to just be normal again.
Describe, because this will be really helpful for other parents, if you can describe. So there's a lot of children have been injured that don't want to wear clothes. What does it feel like when you don't want to wear clothes? What's the feeling of the clothes on you that makes you just not want to have it? Can you describe what that feels like?
It just feels really uncomfortable, like the fabric it just feels like extra. You feel it more, but you feel like the uncomfortable part, like the seams.
Does it actually hurt?
Like, it doesn't hurt, but it just feels like the rubbing against you. It just gives you an uncomfortable feeling. Or like if I wore tights, I would feel like the sweat, or I would feel it just rubbing against my skin, and it would just be a rough texture that I didn't like.
So do you remember what clothes you could wear that were bearable? Because I think this will help a lot of parents that.
Oh, velvet was in then.
Oh yeah.
Velvet.
Yeah,
like that was back
velvety
then.
or like
Hannah
anything
Anderson clothes.
really soft.
So like cashmere maybe. No,
Or Hannah
soft,
Anderson clothes.
Baggy.
We would give away underwears and socks.
Oh yeah, you can wear like the socks inside out or seamless. Like try to find things that are seamless or baggy.
We used
or
to wear,
soft.
But you don't have this problem anymore, or do you still have it?
No.
Thank goodness.
we couldn't go anywhere.
Do you know what helped you get over that? Was it a diet or was it something else?
We did everything, but for like touch, I would say we did brushing. My mom would get this we had this small brush, and every day she would like rub it on my skin, on my arms and my legs, just every day.
How did that feel?
It felt really good.
And was it a special kind of brush?
It was the Wilberger brushing protocol.
Or was it just the brushing technique? We call it, okay.
And she did therapeutic listening. She did broad auditory and integrated training. She did vision therapy for 2 years.
The audio integrated, we did that with Billy, and I'd say it's on the top 5 things that helped Billy. It was amazing.
Yes, that made a big
lot.
change. She did that right before kindergarten. And even the kindergarten teacher said something about that. And she was also very sick. So once she had peed this funky thing, like a jellyfish, when she was 4. And in hindsight, it was 3 months after she had the MMR, and only the MMR, and then her health declined very bad. She had rashes, earaches, asthma, very, very sick. And anyway, so we were on a gluten-free, dairy-free diet before it was the fad because we had all these allergies. So we were on that for 2 years, and I was very strict. And then we started Epsom salt baths. This woman, Karen DeFelice, who wrote Enzymes for Autism, I became friends with her online. There was a big, huge support group, and we did Epsom salt baths. That helped a lot. So I learned about, the Barad helped tremendously. She was more social. She could make eye contact with you. She would engage with other kids. And we were able to go out in public. We couldn't go. It was like a jail. We couldn't go anywhere. She'd be under the table. We'd have a fit for 2 hours, and I would just hold her, and I learned what I could. We went to a nutritionist. We healed a leaky gut. That gastrointestinal, she had it. Everything that I learned in hindsight. She had a mitochondrial dysfunction. I have the MTHFR gene. Double. They have one. It's not only one kid. It's 3 kids, and her younger brother is 10. And the same thing. Gavin was affected really, really bad, and he tested as if he was autistic when he was younger, and he's good now as well. He has like a learning disability, dyslexia like myself, but if it wasn't for what I know with my daughter Meghan, helping her, then, it'd be okay. I know we just don't know what to say. It's upsetting.
So I'm interested.
But it's
so
like,
what do you think about all of this? Do you have any vaccine injury in your family?
I don't have any injury that I know of anyone in my family.
Or like ADD.
But so
we all had ADD.
What you all did?
Pretty. I'm not sure about my parents, but pretty much me and any of my sisters ended up having ADD.
Did they give you medication for that?
Yeah.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
Are you still on medication now?
No.
Good for you.
No, I haven't been on medication for years. It was bad when I was on it, but I guess the effects wore off. Like after I stopped taking it, my mom stopped giving it to us, she said when we were on it, we were very monotone, and we had no desire to live. She would say we would kind of just, like, she would talk to us and we would like everything we said, there was no emotion in it. For the most part, it was kind of just like a blank stare. And it stopped after she stopped giving us the medication. Like, she stopped us in that.
Well, thank goodness. Now, so you've just seen Vaxxed. Is that for the first time?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I was very shocked. I agree with everything that you stand for. I mean, clearly, but I actually learned a lot from them. Like, they were the first that I learned that vaccines or anything like that were bad for you. Beforehand, I had no knowledge of it at all.
And what happens if you're asked to be vaccinated by anyone again, by any doctor?
No.
You know what I'd like to say? Oh, sorry.
What do you do for a job? Are you at college or do you do work?
I work at a flower house.
Perfect.
What related to is the mom before me. And what I find upsetting is and what I don't understand is when a mom tells you that something happened to their kid. And it's very upsetting. I have scars from Meghan, and they just don't believe you. Whatever, and I feel like we speak and we talk and we could just gone away and said, my mother's like, why would you want to write a book? We want to help other kids. You could have just forgotten about that. No one supports them. No one believes them, and it's the truth. What do you have to lose? We want to help other people so it doesn't happen to them, and people like they treat you like crap. They're like, oh, I don't need to go to see Vaxxed. Oh, my kid's getting Vaxxed. You know, it's like, why? You know, like, listen to the parents that it's happening to. It's what do they have to lose? I feel like, I don't know. I just don't get it.